Hey folks, Chuck Long here with the Arkansas Game Fish Commission. Hey, we're back out here at the skinning table, clean table out here in the garage, and today we're going to be cleaning some catfish. I'm going to show you the way I clean catfish. Now, there's a multitude of ways to clean catfish. This is just the way that I learned it. Several years ago now, I worked at a commercial catfish farm where we raised channel catfish, and we raised them for market. And part of that marketing process was we would clean them almost on a daily basis and sell to local restaurants, to walk-ins off the street or whatever. We would hand skin, 6, 7, 8,000 pounds a week. And this is the way that these guys had been doing it for many years, and this is the way they taught me to do it, and I still do it. That was 30 years ago now, and I still do it this way today. So hopefully you'll learn something from this. Again, not the only way to do it. This is just the way that I choose to do it. So, and we had tried many different ways to skin catfish, and one of the most important parts of that side of doing it, for the reason we were, was you had to come out good on your weight. So this makes use of a lot of the fish, and so hopefully you'll enjoy this and learn something. What we're going to be using, got a good knife, a good pair of catfish skinners. Now, there's several of these on the market, and what I recommend on these is find some that fits your hand. That's very important. We got a brush, we got a glove, and I'll talk about that as we go. And then probably my big thing that I like to have is a board. And I've got a board here. It's got a nail. Actually, this is a wood screw in it, and this is just a piece of countertop that I've cut off. And you could use a 2x6, a 2x8 here. The reason I like this is because of the lip here. It hooks on the back side of my skinning table, my cleaning table. So, and I'm going to show you how all this works. So, got our catfish over here in the cooler on ice. So let's get to cleaning something. All right, well, let's skin some catfish. Now, again, the way I'm going to show you here is the way I learned at Kueter's Fish Farm, which is in Paragould, Arkansas. And I worked there for 2 years after I got out of college, before I went to work for the Game and Fish. And it's just been really a good life skill to learn. So, and again, maybe you want to do it this way, maybe you don't, but I'll tell you, just from my experience, this works very well. Again, I got my board here, got my knife, got my skinners, got a brush. I'll show you how I'm going to use that. First thing it is, put my glove on. The reason I always wear a glove, and I always wear that on my weak hand on my left hand, is because the back of these catfish fins are serrated. I don't know if you can hear that on the video or not. And if you rub up against that, that's going to cut your finger. So we're going to wear those gloves, just this glove over here, just for safety. Now, so let's start in. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to hold my catfish, and these have been on ice. They're good and stiff. I'm going to make a cut, and you see there's a bone that protrudes back behind the gill plate. I'm going to go right behind it, and I'm just going to make a real shallow cut, just enough to get through the skin on that side. Flip my fish over, and in the same place on the other side, I'm going to make another cut. Now, I don't want my cuts to meet on the top, so you want to leave a space. On this side, I'm going to come around and come all the way down to the fish's throat. So I've got a cut on this side, halfway up, and on the other side, it goes around and up under the throat. Now I'm going to put my fish on my nail. And again, this nail is very important. If you can see my board hooks into my skinning table, so it's stable. Another thing you can do, if you don't have that kind of board, and you just use like a 2x6 or a 2x8, you can just put it where you can lean your hip up against it and to keep it in place. And that's for safety. Now I'm going to grab the skin and I start on the right side of the fish and just pull straight back. I'm not pulling real hard. A lot of it's technique. I'm going to grab the other side, pull straight back. Now, once I got it pulled back, it made a flap on top. I'm going to grab that flap on top and just pull it straight back like that. Now I'm going to turn my fish over, and it left the skin on the belly flap, and I'm just going to pull it off. And there's your skinned catfish. All right, let's do a couple more. Some people say, does that work for any size? Yes, it'll work for any size. I've done up to 35, 40 pounders like this. So I cut on one side, I cut on the other, on my nail. And I just do that for safety and to keep me from having to work to hold the fish. I'll pull on each side, grab the top skin, pull it back, and skin goes in my gut bucket. Pull off the belly flap skin. Let's go one more time. All right, cut on one side, cut on the other. Straight back. And again, I'm not pulling hard. And your pliers kind of act like a lever. So as you pull, you kind of turn your pliers, and that kind of pulls the skin away from the fish's body. That didn't pull quite as clean, but there we go. And it does help if your fish are a little bit cold. Okay, so fairly easy. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean a few more, or skin a few more, and then we'll come back and we'll show you how to gut them. Well, we got several of our fish skinned here. Now I'm going to show you how to get the guts out, take the head off, get the guts out. And I see people do this a lot of different ways, and there's a couple of different ways to do this. My favorite way to do this is take your knife and put it in right behind the dorsal fin, and you just push it forward till it stops. Just make a cut like that, and your knife's going to stop. That's the back of the skull. Once it does that, just pull your knife out, give the head a simple twist, and off it comes. Now, go underneath. You're going to cut off the fins here. And then cut out the rest of the guts. Again, knife behind the dorsal fin, straight forward till it stops. Just twist the head just a little bit. She'll pop right off. Cut off the fins here. Take your knife, cut through the lining there that's left, and just take your knife point and you just rake out the guts that are in here. Cut them off and get rid of them. So, and then that's what we have left. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these, and we'll come back and I will show you the next step. We'll show you one more time on the whole process here. Pull the fin up, make a cut right behind this bone, and cut toward the top of the head. Come underneath, turn him over, cut on the other side. And again, only about skin deep on your nail. Pull straight back. Straight back. That one didn't leave me a little lip there, but you can usually grab it and make you one. And then straight back. Pull off your belly flap. Now take your knife, forward, into our gut bucket. And there we go. There's just a clean catfish. All right, well, we're back. We've got our fish clean now. We've got about a dozen here. I want to thank these actually came from one of the Gamey Fish hatcheries. I want to thank them guys at the fish hatchery at Corning. Thank them guys for supplying the fish, some really good looking fish. You know, they stock a lot of fish every year for derbies and stuff around the state. So appreciate all of our fisheries guys. Now, what we're going to do next, I'm going to show you how I get them ready to eat. And a lot of people say, well, why do you go through the process of skinning them? Well, because now I've got three options. I've got one option to leave them whole. I've got one option to fillet, and I've got another option to steak them. I'm going to show you all three. Let's start off leaving them whole. It's the perfect whole fryer size. And I'm going to leave the fins intact. I'm going to leave this fin on it because I like to eat the fins. All I'm going to do to get them ready to eat, I'm going to just take a brush, and you can just brush out that black color inside inside those belly flaps, and boom, he's ready for the table. Again, a little brush. And usually I don't have any water right here at my skinning table right now, so I don't have any water to run, but it helps if you have some water. But just brush that out, boom, we're ready to eat right there. All right, next thing we're gonna do for you, we're gonna make some catfish steaks. Now, I'd like for them to be a little bit bigger for this, but this will work. I'll show you what we're gonna do. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out again. And that just makes our meat a lot prettier. And again, you're gonna wash this after you're done. And I'm just gonna take you want a fairly heavy knife for this. And I'm gonna go ahead and just pull this fin out right here. If you get it deep there, you can get the bones as well. And again, I'm probably reserving this for 3 or 4 pound fish. And so there's my steaks. Great way to cook fish right there. Let's steak one more. See if I can find a bigger one here. Let's do this guy. Again, gonna brush this out. And I like leaving the tail on. I like that tail. Again, just slice through it. Pull that off. Sorry about that. There we go. So we got our steaks done. All right, last thing I'm gonna do is just a simple fillet. Now, I'm gonna take my fish. Again, I'm gonna clean this out. Right here. Again, it works a lot better if you got some water. Now, one key thing here, I had mentioned, these fish have been on ice, so they're pretty firm. If you clean fish that are really fresh and they've not been on ice, go ahead and stick them in the refrigerator whole like this for about a day, and that makes this process much easier. Just take your knife and go right down that backbone. There we go. Again, take my knife, right down the backbone, and there's me a couple fillets. Now, if you want to save the belly flap, which on a smaller fish you won't get as much, you get a little bit, then cut the rib pieces out, and there's your boneless fillet. Again, you can save your belly flap, cut out your rib pieces, boneless fillet. Now, you can also cook this, especially on the bigger fish. There's plenty of meat right there to cook, so if you want to save that, you'll be fine. Let's do another one. I'm not going to worry about the belly flaps. I pulled them off when I skinned this one. Again, just right down. And again, you can do these. There's a lot of ways to skin catfish. I'm not saying this is the best way or anything like that. I'm just showing you this way because that's the way that has been proven over time to be very good at very little waste on your fish and making a very pretty product. Now, one thing right here, let me show you one more thing, is on your fillets. You can eat this whole fillet, but if you got a bigger fish, you might want to cut it up. So when you're doing that, I like to follow the contour of where I cut out my rib cage. So I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to angle my knife as I cut. And again, that's kind of small. If I had a bigger fillet here, I really don't have a bigger fillet. Kind of angle, and what that does, that helps your pieces get about the same thickness, which when you're cooking fish, that'll help your fish cook more evenly. Well, folks, hope you enjoyed our video today on cleaning catfish. Again, this may not be the way you want to do it, may not be the best way to do it or anything like that. I found it to be, for me personally, one of the most effective, most efficient ways to clean catfish that I've found. So, and that's why I do it that way, and I want to share that with you guys. If you got any questions about any of our videos or anything like that, just drop us a note to the Forest Elwood Crowley Ridge Nature Center. Put them in the comments, send us a message, and we'll try to help you out. Be sure and watch. We got a lot of neat videos coming up. And thanks for watching today. Hope you get out and catch you a few fish. Again, have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.